The Coleman campaign says the ballots have been counted twice. They have not. The Coleman campaign says Norm Coleman has been declared the winner. He has not. The Coleman campaign and its allies say 32 absentee ballots were riding around in an election official's car for several days. They were not. The Coleman campaign and its allies say there's no good explanation for the 246 vote shift in two harbors. There is. The Coleman campaign and its allies say that Al Franken benefited more from the canvass-related corrections than Barack Obama. He did not. The Coleman campaign and its allies say that the vote shifts we've seen so far are strange, improbable, statistically dubious. They are none of those. Now, why am I going through all of this? The Coleman campaign isn't lying for sport. They and their surrogates are attempting to mislead the press and the public because it is part of a political strategy to discredit the process and stop votes from being counted.
I'll give you one example. We had one of our organizers visit a woman at a nursing home where she lives, and she told us that her signature was indeed different than what was on file with the county. And that was because she had suffered a stroke. So despite her efforts to get a ballot on time, consider the candidates, submit that ballot on time, her ballot didn't count yet because there was a mismatch in the signature that was on file with the county. There are stories like this throughout Minnesota, and we have made a request to each and every one of the counties to give us a list of the names of individuals whose ballots they received by absentee that were not counted. Now, why are we doing this? We're doing this because, as I've said over the last 24 hours to some of you, we believe it is very important that every Minnesotan who lawfully cast a ballot has a right to have that ballot counted. And Norm Coleman shouldn't be able to stop that. No one should be able to stop that. Now, we know about this example, which came from Beltrami County, because Beltrami County was kind enough and good enough to give us a copy of the list that we saw from them. Unfortunately, not every county has complied with that request. And by the way, the Coleman campaign has made similar requests in many of the counties as well for these lists. So today, we are going to take action to remedy that. We will be filing a lawsuit against Ramsey County, which has not given us that list. This is not a lawsuit about putting ballots in the count or not in the count. This is about giving us access to the data that will allow us to determine whether or not there are lawful ballots. Honest, hard-working men and women who did everything right. They played by the rules. They went to the Secretary of State's website. They read how you cast an absentee ballot. And they did all of those things. And yet their ballots weren't counted. Now, I think we can all agree that that's wrong, and they should be counted. We've received a number of calls from concerned voters over the last few days who see that it's a close election and are concerned that their ballot may not have counted. The only way we can ensure that people are not disenfranchised through this process is to get these lists